I want to take just a second to comment on a couple of those conversation topics that came up from my Reddit post. A lot of people said that meme culture was really important to them, that they spent a lot of time looking at memes and that they thought memes were funny and great. And I asked them, well, where do you go looking for memes? The answers kind of varied. Most of them said Reddit, but also Instagram and YouTube. So Reddit being kind of a major source for memes, I think it's a good place to go to. Some of them directed me to a subreddit called dank memes. So I have been subscribed to dank memes for a little over a month now. I've been subscribed to Our Teenagers for about 2 months now, and it's got a ton of memes on there as well, so I feel like I've become quite a bit more acquainted with meme culture. It's something that wasn't really a stranger to me to begin with. Like, I kept on top of memes years ago, but I mean, the stuff that I looked at is so obsolete now. Like, I probably stopped really looking for memes in 2012. But there's something that you come across on the internet, so the really popular ones are still in my frame of reference. There's some that you just can't avoid. Like right now, there's this one circulating where the end joke is that it's this blurry picture of Pikachu making like a surprised face. It's everywhere. Like, if you're on the internet, you just can't avoid this meme. But that isn't necessarily what they mean. That the memes, there's just so much. Like, they really shape humor. You have to have this understanding that builds on so many different layers of familiarity. And when I say that, I mean, my partner has a friend who watches a lot of Let's Plays, and he was over the other night and he showed us a Let's Play video, and they were making all these jokes that I didn't even understand, and he said, oh, this video was published 8 months ago, so all those memes are old now. So everything's all tied together. Like, in order to go on the internet and look at memes, to read the comments sections, to watch videos on YouTube, you kind of have to be part of it. You've got to have your fingers in the mud. You've got to actually be doing it. So I'm actually going to stay subscribed to these subreddits, but I thought I'd show you a little bit about what they're like. Another trend that was mentioned several times is that it's cool to be depressed or to project that you're depressed. That's something that, from following these subreddits for a couple of months, I've noticed over and over again that it's commonly the joke in the meme that you're depressed. And when I made my original Reddit post, I wrote this big rambling thing about, who are you, what do you like, I want to find out. And someone just replied, they want to die, like teenagers want to die. And I asked them to clarify, and they said that it was meant sarcastically, but just that that's kind of a funny trend that has popped up. Another person commented that they felt one of the biggest differences between Generation Z and Millennials is that Generation Z is really aware of the political climate and global crises. And I think that's true. I kind of wonder if there's a relationship between that and the depression, that like it's cool to be depressed because the world is ending and it's scary. And we've read articles about that in class too, about like dystopia being popular with teens because teenagers feel like they're in a dystopia. So yeah, that's definitely something that has come up. And I do think it's true. Like, even when you're in dank memes, you will go down this path where it'll just be like some stupid joke, and you go into the comments section and there's this big conversation about, you know, Bernie Sanders is actually the most popular politician, and here are all these theories of why he should have been the candidate instead of Hillary, and like just all of this very, very intelligent political conversation taking place right in the middle of the dankest of memes. So here we are on Dank Memes, the subreddit. Reddit is one of the main tools you can use for looking at memes, though memes appear pretty much anywhere where users can post content. The dank, I used to think the dank meant it was going to be like dark or crude humor, and I was wrong. When you're looking for definitions about stuff on the internet, don't use Urban Dictionary. Like, they, more often than not, the definitions on Urban Dictionary are just like more jokes for people who already know what that word is. And they're making fun of people like us who have to look it up. So go on knowyourmeme.com. Knowyourmeme.com is for the real dummies and isn't ironic at all. So knowyourmeme.com says that dank is actually an expression used in online media and in jokes that are intentionally bizarre or have exhausted their comedic value to the point of being trite or cliche. In the original context, the word dank was coined for high quality marijuana and is satirically being used as a synonym for cool. So the term itself is tongue-in-cheek, and I think that's kind of trying to show you that the memes are also a little bit tongue-in-cheek. You're not supposed to take them too seriously. The one that we're looking at right now, I think is funny because it's tying in with what we were just talking about with it being kind of cool or, I don't know, trendy to be depressed, that, you know, hate leads to suffering, suffering leads to dank memes, and that has a tie-in with memes and internet culture, so that's kind of fun and interesting. Memes show up in any different type of form. Like, they're basically just jokes on the internet. It's such a wide blanket. It's really common to have a picture that is viral or reproducible, and the caption changes, or or there will be a comic where parts of it change, so certain frames will change or the punchline will change, and part of the joke is that it's always really obvious. Like, this one's even more blended than they usually are. Sometimes there's like a big white square showing you what's been blocked off, but the point is that you're supposed to be able to easily tell what part has been changed. And part of the joke is that it's still funny. Like, it was funny before, and it's funny after you've made a change, and you can repeat that so that it's showing up in different situations all the time, and it's a new joke every time, even though it's kind of existing in the same continuum. And I think it's really important to emphasize that you don't need to go on here and like look at every single picture and be like, oh, okay, I know this one. Like, this one actually does come up a lot, but it just as easily could be just a one-off. It's just the situation where the actual pictures themselves will have surges in popularity, but then they'll disappear, and it doesn't take very long before they become outdated. People get bored with them. Like, it's just, they move by so fast that if you enjoy them, you should be on here looking at them, and you'll get the joke. You'll get more of the jokes the more that you look at them. But if you're just trying to familiarize yourself with it, I would just scroll through it. Don't try to be like, oh, okay, so this one's penguins, and every time they post the penguins, I don't know, it has to, like, the punchline is just smile and wave, boys, just smile and wave, and people will apply different situations where you would respond by smiling and waving. You can just use common sense to break them down. Like, that's the point, is you're not supposed to have to be some kind of student or expert in these. They're just jokes. A big common element in them, sometimes there's commentary about history or politics. It's really common. They're almost like the new version of the political cartoon, which people don't usually talk about memes as what they are. That's what they are, but it is kind of true. That is something they're doing. Like, this one's here talking about Romans killing Jesus. You know, they deal with some serious topics, but lightheartedly. And another really big theme, commenting on popular events, things that are happening in the news. And I think probably the most common thing is talking about things that are relatable. Like, here's one. Someone responding to their crush talking to them. Like, as soon as their crush talks to them, they are wordless and dumb and don't look at all like a badass. They're like this fluffy little dog that looks dumb, and they can't say anything intelligent to save their life. A lot of people have that experience. You're like, I have a crush on you, and I think you're cool, and I want you to think I'm cool, but I'm totally tongue-tied when I talk to you. So many memes are like that, where it's just, they're talking about, they're just identifying that we all have these kind of universal experiences, and we're sharing and reveling in those shared experiences. So this is Reddit. You get the idea. I was told to go over to Instagram. I'm not on Instagram. I know nothing about Instagram, but to me, this is the Dank Memes Instagram. Pretty similar. It's just a different layout. Like you click on them to see the full thing, but other than that, it's just the same kind of content in a different venue. This is an example of one making some kind of commentary, which is just a great venue for them. And yeah, we talked about this too. The Reddit subreddit Dank Memes updates the meme of the month. The moderator has posted in here and said, the meme of the month is not the most popular meme, it is the dankest meme. So everyone's commenting right now that it's going to be Pikachu for November, the one that I mentioned in my introduction, because it's so popular and it's everywhere. But wait and see. But it's kind of funny, it keeps on top of the trends for you. You can go on here and see what the meme of the month is. If you're looking at the one in January, forget about it, it's already in the past. This is an example of meta. This is the Pikachu meme talking about the Pikachu meme. This is the one I was talking about with the little surprise Pikachu. And yeah, I think it's right. I think Pikachu meme's headed to the graveyard because people are done with it. Now, this is something I've been really excited to show you. One of the replies in my Reddit post pointed me to Fellow Kids. They said, if you want to know what not to do, go to Fellow Kids. It's referencing this meme, which is Steve Buscemi trying to blend in at a high school and obviously failing, and it's quite cheeky. I find this meme really funny because it so perfectly fits what so many media figures and companies and stuff are trying to do to market to teenagers. So this one is from an English book where they're saying match these expressions from the text with their meanings. Like, I don't know exactly how this is supposed to be useful, but an example of maybe a teacher trying to be like, hey, look, I'm cool. I can engage you with what you're interested in because I'm hip. And it comes off as like tacky. It's tacky and it's fake. And that's what this subreddit is all about. A lot of them are companies trying to sell you a product. Yeah, so here's a perfect example. This is the Honey Nut Cheerios mascot. Is that called dabbing? Oh God, I think that's dabbing. No, this one's dabbing and this one's flossing. It's doing that dance move that the young people are doing. I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just trying to figure this crap out. So yeah, it's the kids are making fun of it. The kids are like, you are trying too hard and it's not working. My big conclusion is that if you think memes are funny, keep on top of memes, read memes, joke around with teenagers about memes, that's cool. But if you don't, just don't bother, because being genuine is more important than being trendy. And if you aren't legitimately interested in them and you try to reference them later or use them for some kind of poster or something like that, you're going to get the situation and the context wrong. You're going to come off as fake. You're going to be ridiculed. Like, it's just a mess. So if you're not into it, don't do it. Just be genuine and be yourself, because that's what teenagers are really looking for when you are in a position where you're serving them as the public. And if you are going to use memes for something, for goodness sake, keep on top of them. Memes are all about what's current, not about like the meme itself, but about what is happening right now in this moment. So thank you for joining me on my vlog entry about memes. I hope it was useful and informative for you. I thought it was hella Fortnite and super lit, and I felt woke while I was yeeting. And please, if you aren't actually familiar with these words, don't use them. Till next time.